Tēnā koutou katoa, he mihi tuatahi i ngā mana whenua o tēnei rohi. Kua whakatau mai nei ki a tātou, Moriori ki a koutou. E te whānau o Festival for the Future, kua kāranga mai nei ki a tātou, mō i tēnei hui. Tēnā koutou katoa. I ngā manawa ora, kua whakapiri mai nei ki te tautoko i tēnei kaupapa, tēnā koutou. Ko waiahau, he uri tēnei ngō Ngāti Porou, ko Julia Amoa Whaipooti, tōku ingoa. Kia ora tātou. Kia ora everybody. I'd like to introduce you to my mate Toko. He turns 3 this month. He likes eating ice cream very much. He also likes eating Play-Doh. But I grew up on a Play-Doh diet and I turned out all right. He's my nephew and he is 9 times more likely to end up in prison because his father, my brother, in his lifetime has been in prison, and those are the realities and the statistics that he enters this world. This photo was taken in Te Papa, and some of you may know Moana Jackson. He's talked about how his mokopuna has described Te Papa as an imagination space. I look at this baby, and this is my why. All children, whoever you are, should be able to enter our world, but particularly in our country, and be able to imagine, and be able to have the potential to fulfill that imagination and to walk equally towards that space. This is me. I'm really cute. Unless you're a good mate of mine who said I look like a wombat, but we'll go with cute. But when I grew up in this world, I had disproportionate confidence. I'd like to say I was like me, but squashed. But I have particularly my mother, I'm mihi to my mother, who recognised she didn't have the opportunities in her lifetime that she was committed. Like most of us here, when we think about the future, you may not have that idea of what that's supposed to look like, but she knew she wanted it to be better for us, her children, and she instilled that sense of belonging to me in spaces where she wasn't welcome. She made sure that I could feel welcome, and she taught me to walk towards an education because she saw that as a tool that could help create a better future for us, her children. So I had this confidence and the sense of belonging to walk into a space, and so I had 3 things I wanted to do when I was growing up. One was just win the Olympics, and the second one was to be a lawyer because people understand lawyers to be people who just talk heaps, and I did that. So I was told heaps of times, oh, you're going to be a lawyer, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be a lawyer. And the third one was be Dr. Phil. But it turns out you have to know things. You can't just tell people what you think about stuff. So I was like, oh, I won't do that. So I was the first of my whānau to go to university and to go to law school. These are my parents. Hi, Mum, Dad. And I didn't go to law school because I wanted to change the world and make it a better place. I went there because I wanted dollar bills. And I got told that I could be a lawyer because you could talk. But no, I actually worked at a supermarket for my last few years at college. I didn't know how to go to uni because I hadn't seen it done before, but I knew that my mum expected me to go, and I was like, all right, but I knew it was expensive and I didn't want to make a mistake, so I said, I'm going to work until I figure out how to go to uni. And so I wanted to work at the supermarket. They didn't have a job for me. And then one of my managers left and went to my detention. Said, I'll give you a full-time job and 50 cents more an hour. And I was like, mean, I'm coming, because I wanted to finish school and go straight into mahi. And a regular customer came in. I was like, it's my last day today. And she was like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going to Māori 10. She said, no, you're not. And she gave me her card, and she was a manager at a law firm, the biggest law firm in town. And I was like, cool. So I worked one day at Māori 10. Then I went to this law firm. And then haere tonu, ended up going to law school eventually after that. But the point of of this, I suppose, is in my own story. I've heard people talk about how does change come about, and someone, a talk in my life said, for change to happen, you have to be able to identify what the problem is that you're trying to change. And when you're all just rolling around, just trying to find food, when it's just where's my next chocolate coming from? You don't think about these things. But when I went to law school, I remember sitting in criminal law class, and then the class talking about Māori as if we weren't in the room, and talking about Māori in our prisons, talking about us, for us, as if we weren't present. And I remember feeling really uncomfortable in that space. And I was just like, I'm here, we're here, all three of us, but no. But feeling the shift, and feeling this isn't okay, I feel uncomfortable. So that's my trigger when I go, what is the thing that's a problem. So Ngāti Porou and me got up and was like, I've got to go find a solution. And JustSpeak was a group that I'm the Chair of JustSpeak now, but it was created by young people, for young people, to advocate for change in our justice system based on evidence and experience. Well, that sounds like a cool tagline, but the kaupapa really resonated with me. I was like, I want to go talk about our justice system because this feels not right. And it's not, there's heaps of Pākehā who are in JustSpeak, because when we look at Māori in our prison systems, this isn't a Māori issue. We're not inherently criminal people. This is an issue of our country, and so we mobilise together and collectively to find the solutions that work for us. This is one of those what the Friday things in your face. 71% of our young people in our youth justice system at any time in the year are Māori. 83% of our prisoners under 20 have been touched by SIFs and have been processed through our youth justice system. What is it as a country that we tolerate these systems that fail our people as a country, not just Māori? This isn't about, if you're not Māori, this is about it's not about saving tōko, I got him, but actually it's about, tōko's not broken, it's about how do we mobilise to fix systems that are broken and that are failing. If you fail one group of society, you're failing all of us. So this is what motivates me, this is my why, and it's not the vulnerable Olympics. You don't need to find a tōko, you need to know that our systems need fixing, and we all have a role to play in that. Whether that's in criminal justice, or whether that's in the climate change, or something change, there are spaces for all of us. I think, how different would our today be if the decisions that we make today, and that those that sit in the beehive make today, thought about how it might impact 7 generations down the line. And I think Precious said this last night. She's motivated to make change in this world for her mokopuna who haven't been born yet, but she knows she already loves. And that's why I do what I do. And for all of you, it's finding what are you passionate about. We're hugely privileged to be in this space because we get to have a vision about a future. We get to have that conversation. People who aren't in this room don't get to have that same opportunity. So how do we use our collective power to make 7 generations down the line better? He's my why, and I just want to finish. I was at Parliament for some launch of smoking thing, or smoke-free thing. It's a smoke-free thing, let's make New Zealand smoke-free. But there were 2 kids who got up and spoke, and one of them, they were 15 and 13 or something like that. 5 years earlier, they'd made a submission to Parliament, which looked like how I write my speech notes, looked like scribble. But their koro had passed away. from smoking. And so they had written to the Prime Minister at the time, said, can you stop smoking because it took our koro. And the boy said when he walked down the street 2 weeks later, he saw that someone was smoking, so the Prime Minister hadn't obviously read his letter. And we cracked up. But the truth is, the power of the impatience of youthfulness, of youngness, and that hope, that's something we need to take, harness, and encourage change. We need change making. There's an urgency, there's a sense of urgency about what we're up to. And then his sister finished with these words that was, the future isn't something we walk into, it's something we can create. And everyone in this room, we're part of creating that future, so how can we do that in better ways? Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. O te aroha, ki te pine, kore nei e wai kura e. Tēnā koutou.